Hey guys, and welcome back to another Tutsi meditation video. I'm Sunan and this is Lynn. Lynn, would you please do us the honor of introducing yourself?
Well, thank you so much for inviting me here today.
Of course.
I'm really pleased to be here. My name is Lynn Vineyard and I am retired from a long career in education. Mm-hmm. I taught for 18 years elementary school, and then I became an administrator. I was a principal and finished my career in the district office writing grants for a large school district. I have a doctorate in education, and now as I'm retired, I've been studying Buddhism with Younger Mingyur Rinpoche, and also volunteering with his school for young boys, a monastic school in Kathmandu, Tergar schools.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to start off with a basic question, but how did you go from being a teacher to being interested in Buddhism?
Well, it wasn't like one led to the other. There were sort of like parallel experiences in my life. So my career has always been in education. When I discovered Buddhism, I had been meditating for about 25 years in a different tradition. Wow. And but in my personal life, I was reading a lot, and I happened to be reading Pema Chodron, who's an American Buddhist nun. And so reading her book kind of led me to, well, actually, I was looking at one of her books and happened to notice that it was published by Shambhala, and it was right after I moved to Phoenix in 2011. And I looked up Shambhala online and discovered there was a Phoenix Shambhala Center just down the street from where I lived. So that's how I first began to learn about Buddhism.
So that's very convenient for you.
Yeah, I was so surprised. It was like, this must be meant to be, you know? So, yeah.
I heard that you traveled to Nepal. Could you tell us like a little bit about that and your experience there?
Sure. Well, I really started studying and practicing Buddhism like I said, in 2011. I took refuge in 2016, and I had been part of a local and international Buddhist community, the Shambhala community. The root teacher was Chogyam Trungpa.
Oh.
Yeah, and in 2018, things in the community changed quite a bit, and that I happened to read a book by Mingyur Rinpoche called In Love with the World. And I really loved it. And then he came here right after that on his book tour for In Love with the World. So I got to see him in person. I didn't know your mom at the time.
I think I might have been there.
Yeah, I think you probably were. But anyway, I think the teaching didn't really lead to the Buddhism, but just my life experience did. And and so after meeting Mingyur Rinpoche, I began to study with him online with the Joy of Living classes. So, yeah.
So I believe you went to Nepal.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, I missed your question. Good job.
That's all right.
That's okay. So I was leading up to that. So, so after I was practicing with Tergar, I became a practice leader, and I received the community leadership newsletter.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, and then after I retired, which was in 2022, there happened to be a little advertisement in the newsletter asking for volunteers to help with the Tergar School, a brand new project in Rinpoche's Mandala, which is is located right next to the Osaling Monastery in Kathmandu, Nepal.
Oh!
Yeah. So I wrote to the person, Justin Kelly, who's the director of Tergar Schools, and said I'd love to volunteer, and he interviewed me, and I began to help with that. And after working on a committee, an international committee online to develop curriculum, I ended up going to Nepal as a student of Tergar Institute, which is also a new program that Mingyur Rinpoche is sponsoring. And by being in Kathmandu near the school, I was able to volunteer at the school. So one thing led to another. So yeah.
I didn't know there was a school. That was completely new to me.
Yeah, it's a residential school for boys. It's a monastery school. It's got 82 boys.
Oh, wow.
From 4 to 15. And it's a really wonderful experience. I volunteered there last fall when I went to Kathmandu to live at Osaling and be a student of Rinpoche's in Tergar Institute. And then I was invited to go back this spring. I just got back a month ago. I lived there for 3 months and taught English at the school. So I got to know the boys and the teachers, and it was really wonderful.
So your previous career helped you with this one.
Yeah. It feels very like a great blessing and very kind of auspicious, it just kind of happened. So I felt very happy.
Could you tell us about the people there, how you met them? Are they any different from, say, American style teaching? Or?
Well, I think you'd love it. I hope you get to go one day because the boys are just like children all over the world. They're young and inquisitive and energetic. Most of the boys come from villages near where Rinpoche was born and lived near Samagon. They come from these Himalayan villages and from these Tibetan families. And so they've been raised, in a Buddhist culture, and then they come to the school because their parents really want them to be receiving an education that's connected with Mingyur Rinpoche. And the school itself is it's very innovative. Rinpoche has the vision that by integrating Buddhist wisdom with academic subjects, we can bring out the best potential in all children, all beings, I guess you could say. Yeah.
So it's just like regular school with Buddhist aspects.
Yeah, exactly. There's 4 monks that teach there that are on the faculty, and every morning starts with prayers, and boys chant with lots of enthusiasm, really loud, and and then they go to class, and it's just a very loving environment, very wholesome, and it's a wonderful place to be. I hope you get to visit there someday.
Would you go back if you had the opportunity?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, I would.
Why did it end? Why did you come back to the United States?
Well, I needed to come back. I was there for 3 months, and Kathmandu, although I had a very nice place to live that was provided for me, it was very comfortable and safe. It's not an easy place to live necessarily. Yeah. It's very, 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 very smoggy, and there's questions of food safety and water safety and things like that. And I just needed to come back to kind of take care of my own life and health. But I'm going back next week, actually.
Oh!
Yeah, to be a student again at Osaling.
So you're both a student and a teacher?
Yes. Yeah, I'm a student of the Tergar Institute. It's a wonderful program. It's a 3-year program for international students, all ages. I'm one of the oldest ones, but there's very young people too in their early 20s. And it's just this wonderful program that Rinpoche sponsors, and it's a 3-year study in Buddhist studies. So 3-year program in Buddhist studies.
So I'd say most of your life revolves around Buddhism. How would you say it impacted you from not being Buddhist? What was that transition like?
Well, I had always meditated in a different way by chanting an inner mantra. And so when I first learned shamatha, or calm abiding meditation, I did notice a difference. It was more of, I guess you could call it an embodied experience. I felt different. Even though I went to a weekend retreat, and the week after I noticed I felt different. I was just more aware of myself and what was going on.
So it's a different kind of meditation?
Yeah. So I'm sorry if I'm not answering your question exactly.
No. You are.
Yeah. But yeah, so, I think that the learning the experience of different kinds of meditation through Joy of Living classes with Mingyur Rinpoche, all the levels, and then moving on to Path of Liberation, it's just made a big difference in my relationship with myself and with other people.
That's good.
Yeah.
I feel like this one is kind of self-explanatory now, but why have you continued dedicating your life to this cause?
Well, I've been fortunate to have a wonderful teacher and other teachers that I've met. I feel a lot of admiration and for my teachers and the lineage. And I feel with that admiration and aspiration to be more like them. You know, I see how, you know, Rinpoche and other teachers really benefit the world, to benefit all beings. And that's very inspiring to me. And I can see how my own mind has changed, like the way I relate to myself and mind and emotions has changed, and I'm much more able to be open and interested and curious and engaged with people and experiences. I think that's what enabled me to go to Nepal, you know, so have some adventures in new places. So.
Well, thank you so much, Lynn, and that's it for today.
Thank you very much.